Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this video from. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Today, I am sharing a recipe, my favorite one and only Black Squid Ink Pasta. I know it sounds crazy, but this is one of my favorite dishes that was introduced to me when I was in Boston. So this is how the pasta actually looks like. And I bought this from while I was in Boston. As y'all know, or if some of you do not know, in Boston they specialize in pasta, which I'll be talking more about. But in this video, I'd already boiled the water and I'd added a little bit of butter and a little bit of oil. And so I'm just adding the pasta just to cook it just a little bit. So this part I'm just softening it a little bit. I don't know if you guys have heard about that term al dente. So your pasta, you want it to be al dente, meaning it's not overcooked and it's not raw. It's just in the middle. And when I boil my pasta, I really do not spend too much time boiling it. I just boil it in a way that it's almost raw, because when I make the sauce and add the pasta to the sauce, I'm going to cook it again. So when you think about it, by the time I cook it again in the sauce, then it's going to end up being al dente, right? So while this is boiling, I'm just going to share a little bit about my first date with Black Ink Squid Pasta, which was introduced to me in Boston. It was this family-owned restaurant that I was introduced to, and I saw on the menu they specialize in this type of pasta, and when I saw it, I wanted to try it. I'm very versatile, I'm open-minded, I'm a foodie. I just love trying anything new, and with me, I will try it, and then if I don't like it, then I will not eat it. But these are the spices that I use. I use slap your mama, of course you have to use it. Whipping cream, I use cayenne pepper. I love some heat in my food. And then I use paprika. I also use black pepper. Spices upon spices, that's just how I do it. And I add a little bit of tomato paste. Maggi is an African spice. It adds amazing flavor. And my garlic that I already prepare, crush and freeze. And that's it for the spices that I use. And so back to my point where black pasta was introduced to me. I loved the texture, and when I travel, if I travel to a place, I always look for the food that they specialize in. And once I tried this pasta, oh my god, it was so good. And here you see me just pinching it a little bit just to see if it's almost raw, so that I can have some timing, and by the time I add it to the sauce, it's al dente. So a little bit of my background. I am from the lakeside, right? On the lakeside, we eat a lot of seafood, and that's why trying this type of black ink squid pasta was not a big deal for me, because I've eaten a lot of seafood and I love seafood. My friends and my sister, they think like I'm crazy to eat it, but I'm telling you guys, try it. Get someone who really can make it really good. You will love it. So here I'm just separating the water from the pasta. You can tell I did not cook it for long at all, and it's a small portion because I'm on my lunch break, so it's something just for me, and it doesn't have to be that much. So for the sauce, I add the oil. You can use butter, but I add just a tiny bit of oil, as you have seen me, because the whipping cream has fat in it, so I try to minimize the fat. And then I just make sure the pasta is separating, because sometimes when you put it when you separate it from the water, sometimes it kind of holds together. But here I'm just trying to show you how the black ink squid pasta looks like, and it's not too cooked right there. It's just almost raw, but not raw. And then I go ahead and add my garlic, but garlic has a high burning point with my experience, so I make sure I add it in low heat. Over here, actually, my heat was kind of high a little bit. Like I said, I was on a lunch break and I was kind of on a time, um, on a short time window. So anyway, I add a little bit of garlic. Be careful with how much garlic you add. I've noticed when I add a lot, it's the taste is too garlicky. I don't know if that makes sense. So I usually I take my time when it comes to adding the garlic. I make sure that it's not too much and it's not too little. And because I'm just making this for myself, then the garlic here was not too much. But after this, I'm going to go ahead and add my tomato paste. With tomato paste, I used to, when I was in Boston, I bought this pasta, and then I also bought the sauce, the Italian sauce. It had eggplant in it. I finished it because I cook this pasta anytime I get an excuse. So that's why it's over. But I also have this tomato paste that I add. So honestly, you can use anything, whatever works for you. In terms of the sauce, you can use it. But over here, I was just having some issues with the heat. Sometimes my burner just goes too hot out of nowhere. But anyway, so I'm adding my whipping cream and mixing it. And here you want it to kind of make sure that you're mixing it as you're adding the whipping cream, and bring it to a simmer. And this is where I start adding my spices. This is where you create your sauce. Your sauce is very important. It lifts up the level of your pasta. And also, I always save the water, the pasta water, because I'll always add it to my sauce just to complement the the sauce itself. Instead of just adding pure water, I'd rather use the sauce from the pasta that I just boiled. After this, I'll just add my spices. I will taste it. I usually have a specific goal in terms of taste, and like you have noticed here and most of my channels, I barely measure. Like, I just love to cook, and I go with the flow, you know, because I'm cooking for myself, so I know exactly how I want it. But these are notorious spices that I always use: paprika, black pepper, slap your mama. It's a Louisiana spice. I love it. And then cayenne for some heat. And then I think I used some chicken bouillon. I have a spice rack in my pantry, and I will just go with the flow. I will taste it and see how the salt is. Sometimes it has happened to me before. I would add a lot of spice. When you're adding spices, be careful or mindful of the spices that have salt in it, right? If you're going to use spices, and let me say 80% of those spices have salt on it, then you have to be very careful, or you have to keep on tasting as you go, because that salt level increases. And if you have used the salt with the pasta, it adds up. That salt adds up. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So you have to be very mindful with the salt. I have done the mistakes. I've done it so many times. So now I know to be careful. And that is why when I boiled the pasta, I only added a little pinch of salt, because I knew in the sauce I was going to add some salt. So here I'm just checking for the consistency, making sure the spices have kind of mixed very well, and leaving it to simmer for a little bit, and of course just tasting as I go to make sure that it tastes good to my liking. And also for the sauce, it's a hit or miss. For my pasta, I like it to have sauce. I do not like dry pasta, and I do not like watery pasta. I just like it to be in the middle. I like it to be thick, and to have some sauce with my pasta. Like I said, I don't like it to be dry, and I do not like it to be watery, just in the middle, right? Just a balance in between. So here you have to be very mindful of how much sauce you add, and also when you're letting the sauce simmer, you have to be mindful. You don't want it to simmer for too long that your sauce becomes less than what you started with, and then now you have to add more water or more whipping cream. Just it comes with practice, I must say, but here I could see here there's a lot of room for error over here. So that's why with just my practice I've just learned to kind of eyeball it and know exactly the sauce that I'm looking for, because remember, once you add that pasta to the sauce, the pasta sucks in some of the sauce. And also when I add the pasta, I let the pasta kind of cook a little bit, let me say a minute for this case, because I'm just preparing it for myself. I would say a minute, because I want the pasta to kind of soak in to cook into the sauce a little bit. And that's why in the beginning I did not overcook it, so that by the time it cooks into the sauce, it gets to that al dente point. So I'm very intentional with my pasta, my black ink squid pasta, my favorite OG. And so here I'm just adding, and earlier you saw me adding spices. I just added until it's to my satisfaction. Basically, that's just how I do it. But over here, you want your heat to be kind of in between high and medium high a little bit, because you don't want to overcook your pasta. You just want the sauce and the main pasta to meet just for a little bit, kind of marry each other real quick, and then you're all done. So over here I will cover it for just the pasta to kind of meet, kind of blend into the sauce a little bit and cook a little bit, not for too long, like I said, because I don't like it overcooked. So guys, while this gets ready, let me know what you think about a black ink squid pasta. If you have tried it before, let me know, because this is my amazing type of pasta that I love. Have you tried it? And usually I'm in Texas, so sometimes it's hard for me to get it here, so I have to do Instacart to grab it. It's a struggle. So when I go to Boston, I buy a bunch of it, because it's not a thing that a lot of people are familiar with, I've noticed. But I love this pasta. It's just, it soothes my soul when I eat it. So let me know what you think, and what type of pasta have you tried that you have liked, and if you like pasta, do you like yours cooked? Do you like yours al dente? Does al dente mean anything to you? Let me know. Everyone is different, right? Everyone is different. So over here I'm just checking the consistency of my sauce, if it's a lot or if it's not. Like I said, that pasta just sucks the sauce, so you have to be very careful. And yes, I am adding slap your mama, but this is more spicy. I always leave room at the end for just in case. I love spices, so please bear with me. But now it is definitely ready. It's cooked, and this consistency of the sauce is where I want it. And my plate is ready. I'm ready to eat this sauce and this pasta. Sorry, it is my favorite, guys. Let me know what you think. But you can see how I pour it, the color on the sauce is so rich. That's how it looks. It's the pasta, it looks different. I think it's just the color. It doesn't taste too different from the regular pasta, but to me it's pasta. It just has a unique taste to it. Try it, guys. Let me know what you think. But after that, of course, with pasta, we all know we have to eat it the right way. So I have my pasta and my wine that I'm going to share in a little bit, and that is how I eat my pasta. You have to eat it the right way, no corners, you just have to do it the right way. Like, you all know how I do it. I have to do it the right way. Go big or go home. So here's my pasta and my wine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to share, like, leave a comment below about your pasta experience. Have you been to Boston? Have you tried this? What do you think? Let me know, do you like your pasta al dente or not? But anyway, guys, share, like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching my video. Love you guys. Cheers.